What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mod Squad Network's Conversations with the Mod Squad. I'm your host, Kevin, always joined by Felix.
What's up?
And this week's guests are Nina and Ethan from the Bloody Essentials podcast. How's it going, both of you guys?
We're doing awesome. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
We are having a little bit of technical difficulty, so you can see what they look like, but it's not a video, which is perfectly fine. We work things out here. So basically, guys, what this is all about is for you and your fans to get to know you on a personal level, but in a lighthearted type of way. What we'll do is we'll start off with some word association from Felix. I will ask you about 15 thought-provoking questions, and then we'll finish with some rapid-fire this or that. But the very first question I start off with is, what exactly is the Bloody Essential podcast, and how did that show come about on YouTube?
So the Bloody Essentials podcast came about. We initially, our other co-host, Jamie, she and I met doing another podcast called The Dolls of Horror, and we were working together on that. And we ended up meeting Ethan because he was a fan of the podcast and a listener, and also a supporter of the podcast. You know, he was always representing us and talking about us. And unfortunately, that project came to an end of last year. And, you know, the three of us were talking, and we were discussing how a lot of horror artists in the horror community, they don't really have anybody that's, you know, representing them. They don't have a voice really, and they are what you might call the backbone of the horror community. So we decided to create our own podcast, if you will, and we wanted it to have a video element because a lot of artists, you know, they want to show their work.
Yeah.
So we decided to have the video component as well as part of the podcast, so that we can show horror artists within the community that may not, you know, have exposure outside of like horror conventions, and let people discover these artists, these amazing authors, you know, independent filmmakers that way. And it's been amazing so far. I can't speak for Ethan. I don't know what his experience has been. Ethan, do you want to talk a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's been great. I've been involved in the horror community. I mean, I've loved horror movies like my whole life, but I've been going to cons and stuff for 30 years, and I've always wanted to get more involved. I just didn't know how. And, you know, meeting Nina and Jamie, I thought, okay, we gel so well together and we're such great friends, we might as well go ahead and, you know, let's start this and see what we can do. Because there are so many different, you know, independent artists and, you know, people who don't have a platform because, I mean, obviously we're not talking to people from Lionsgates, you know? I mean, we're all a community, and that's what we're here for. We want to promote everyone else.
Yep.
I like it. All right, so what we'll do is we'll start off with some word association from Felix. Take it away, Felix.
All right, guys, that's the first thing that pops into your mind. We're going to go Nina first, then Ethan. All right, Western.
John Wayne.
Clint Eastwood.
Hero.
Villain.
Dad.
Aww. Desire. Oh. Family.
Love.
Network.
Friends.
Podcast.
Straight out horror.
Michael Myers.
Happiness.
Love it. Both of them, actually. Storm.
Rain.
Money.
Adventure.
Hiking.
Family.
Bizarre.
Unusual.
Politics.
I like that. Memory.
Fun.
Family.
Speaking of Michael Myers, Halloween.
Pumpkins.
Favorite movie?
Same. The first one's my all-time favorite horror movie.
Yep.
Fear.
Oh, gosh. Adventure.
Spiders.
And my last one, cheeseburger.
Yum.
Grilled onions.
Ooh, grilled onions on a cheeseburger. Now that's the way to go for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to ask you some thought-provoking questions, and to follow up on Felix's cheeseburger, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, absolutely not.
I know this is against what both of you believe, but yes.
It was nice having you, Ethan.
Yeah.
Ethan, we're gonna continue,
Okay,
you know?
Nina can stay, Ethan can get no. Oh, geez. When I think of a hot dog, though, I think of like events, and I love going to wrestling events because when that wrestler comes through that curtain and that theme song hits, you know exactly who he is and what he's all about. If you had a theme song every time you walked into a room, what would it be and why?
It would probably be Born This Way by Gaga.
Okay. I like
Can't
it.
hate on that, Ethan.
Mine would have to be Proud to be an American, because this is the greatest country in the world.
I like it. I like it. We're going to stick with songs. What is your guilty pleasure car karaoke song? You know that one you kind of roll up the windows, crank the radio up, and just belt out as loud as you can? But kind of embarrassed you do.
Oh God. I'm trying to think of the name of the song.
Sing it.
No, you do not want that. You do not want that. It's probably oh God. I just know it's by Loretta Lynn. That's all I know.
Okay.
So, yep.
Ethan?
Mine would be the Grease soundtrack.
Oh.
Oh, I
See,
can't
I'm not
imagine.
embarrassed to belt out Grease, man. I love me some Grease. But we're going to stay in the car. What is the farthest you've ever traveled from home for vacation?
That would be Ocala, Florida. I went there for a horror convention around Christmas time, and it was absolutely lovely. It was first time I was seeing the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, nice. I'm actually originally from Florida.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unfortunately.
I am
would-
Florida man.
I would have to say it was probably about 15 hours, and mine was to Florida as well.
Oh, very nice. Everybody goes to Florida for some reason. It's one reason why I left. But that's in miles. How about time? If you could travel 10 years to the past or 10 years to the future, which way would you go and why? But this is only for 24 hours.
I'd probably go to the past, just to save myself some heartache later.
Oh,
I feel you.
I would also go to the past so I could spend 24 hours with my dad.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely a good answer.
It's my answer as well.
Yeah, I recently lost mine, so yeah, I would definitely go to the past.
Yes.
Okay, how about a little color theory? How would you describe the color purple to a blind man?
Oh,
Yeah, this one usually stumps people.
I can't imagine why. I'd probably say vibrant, beautiful, soothing.
All right. Ethan?
Okay, when I see purple, I think of royalty. So I would tell them royalty, king, queen, something like that. Very beautiful and majestic. So
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. All right, guys. What is the funniest thing that's ever happened to you that you can legally talk about?
Oh my gosh. There's a lot. I guess I'll have to go with the most recent story. Ethan and I actually were hanging out at a convention, and a lot of alcohol was consumed. And when it was almost bedtime and things were winding down, and we were like, we are really hungry and we need something to soak up the alcohol. And so our friend had to order the White Castle because we were not functioning enough to be able to. And we ended up falling asleep apparently with the White Castle in our hands. And she apparently removed a pickle off of my face. So that happened a few months ago. So yeah, that's what happens when Ethan and I go to a convention together.
Hey, alcohol is usually the cause of most stories like this. Ethan?
Yeah. Mine also happened at a convention. And I was meeting, this was a long time ago, Samara from The Ring. And I cannot think of her name right now. But if you know who she is absolutely gorgeous. And I got up to the table and she said, "What's your name?" And I was like, I don't remember. And she was like, "You don't know your own name?" And I was like, "Wait a minute. What was your question?" I was just so flustered. She was like, "I'll just sign this now." So
yeah,
that was probably the it wasn't funny at the time. Now leaving and thinking back on it, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm such an idiot." So
yeah, that kind of happened to me as well at a con. I met Tara Strong, and very similar story. All right, guys. If you were to poll your family and friends, what would they say you're most known for?
Loyalty to a fault.
I like that.
I would have to say they would say loyalty as well, but also the black sheep. Because I do what I want. So
yeah, I think so far, I think me and you, Ethan, would be like best buds. It sounds like. All right, guys. I'm a superhuman guy. I love reading comics. Superman's my guy. But if you had superhuman powers, just one superhuman power, what would it be? And would you use it for good or evil?
I would like to be able to understand and use any language in the world.
That's such a good superpower.
Yeah. So much
better. Right? I don't know. I would like to use it for good, but it'd be a lot of fun trying to confuse people. So maybe in between.
Fact. How about you, Ethan?
I think I would have to say to be invisible. And for good or for bad, yes.
Just yes.
Yeah, just yes.
Just yes. I would use it for good, but if you piss me off, I may use it for bad.
I would probably use it for both as well.
Yeah.
Same.
Like I said, I'm a Superman guy. I love reading comics. That is my media of choice. But what single piece of media, whether it be book, movie, or TV show, has had the most influence you are as a person today?
It would probably be film, just because that's something that I think I can share with a lot of people. And there are certain movies that, no matter how many times I've seen them, they still make me feel the same way I did when I first watched them.
I like that answer.
Okay. Well, yes, I do a horror podcast, but the piece would be the Bible. I have a very, very strong faith base, so that is the core of my belief in my life.
Can't hate on that, man. Definitely. All right. If your life was a movie, though, what would the title be, and who would play you?
Oh, God.
It's hard to self-reflect sometimes, right?
Well, it's hard to narrow it down to just a title. I'd say we'd call it Here We Go Again, and I feel like blanking on her name. Who is the chick from Easy A and Zombieland? What is her name? Emma Stone. Emma Stone would play me for sure.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the title of my movie would be Is This Real Life? And the tagline would be, Are you friggin' kidding me? And who would play me? I don't know. I like to cut up and carry on, so Chris Farley if he were alive.
Aw.
I like that.
I like that. I do like me some Chris Farley movies, so yeah. I'd watch your movie. I'd watch both of your movies.
We appreciate that.
All right, the standard question, if you were stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you take and why?
God. Oh, this is hard. Well, I'd bring chapstick because my lips get dry very easily. Sunscreen because I burn very easily, and a phone to get me off that island as soon as possible.
There you go.
I think I would take pen and paper so I could document everything until I was rescued. I would have to bring a machete because if anything comes at me, I'm too fat to run from it, so I'm going to have to fight. And soap because I got to find me somewhere to wash up because I can't be dirty.
You know what? I'm not hating on that. I mean, when you're found, you want to be clean, right?
Exactly.
If you could switch lives with someone just for one day, who would it be and why?
It's so hard because I admire so many people, but I would really like to be Lady Gaga just for a day so I can know what it is like to be able to sing properly.
All right.
Good one.
Okay. This is kind of deep.
So deep, it's almost uncomfortable, right?
Yeah. I would say if I had to change life with somebody for 24 hours, I would have to pick probably somebody that I really admire their work. So probably like Robert Englund.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
As long
cool.
as he was doing a movie that day.
So you get the behind the scenes on everything?
Exactly.
I like it.
Exactly.
I always like the behind the scenes on just about everything. All right, guys. What is your 1 year, your 5 year, and your 10-year goals? Your individual goals?
1 year goal, I just started a new job, so I'm hoping that I will still be at that job and hopefully be making more money by then. 5 year goal, I'd like to have a bigger apartment and be living with my current partner by then. 10-year goal, I'm hoping to travel more and potentially visit some places that have been on my bucket list for a while.
I like that. I like that a lot. Ethan?
1 year goal, I think, would have to be to grow my business even more than it is. At the 5-year mark, I would like to have a group of people to where I don't have to go out into the field, but I can send them and I can spend more time doing stuff like Bloody Essentials. And 10-year goal is, I would have to say, taking Bloody Essentials even bigger. Not that I want to be famous with this. That's not what I want to do, but I want to spread the horror community out and have that be what I do permanently.
I like it. I like that a lot. All right. Last question I have. If you took center stage to the world and had everybody's ear, what would your message be?
Stop being mean to each other and let's find a way to get along.
I would have to say turn off the news. They're doing nothing but dividing us. We have more in common than what we don't. Stop feeding into the negative and start seeing how we can live together peacefully.
Like it.
I like that, and that you're dead on with that, by the way. All right, that is all I have for some thought-provoking questions. We're gonna finish with some rapid fire this or that from Felix. Felix, take it away.
All right, rapid fire here. Nina first. Yeah, is the term GIF or GIF?
It's GIF.
GIF.
Android or Apple?
Apple.
Apple.
DC or Marvel?
DC.
Marvel.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Prince.
Michael Jackson.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
If I had to pick one, Xbox.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Dogs.
Checkers or chess?
Chess.
Checkers.
Paper books or audiobooks?
Paper books.
Audiobooks.
Knife or machete?
Machete.
Machete.
The movie Saw or the movie Hostel?
Hostile.
Hostile.
And the last one, soft or hard homemade tacos?
Hard.
Hard.
Agreed.
I like those answers. All right, usually we end it there, but since you're horror guys, I want to know, what is your Mount Rushmore of horror icons?
Freddy, Jason, Michael, and Leatherface.
Okay.
Totally agree.
All right.
Yep.
I think the first three that you said are usually on most everybody's. It's that
Yeah.
fourth one that Leatherface and Ghostface usually get
Mine was
flip-flopped on.
the same, and then with Ghostface.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the 50th year of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We can't be
Yep.
doing Leatherface dirty.
This is true.
That's true.
I'm currently in Texas, and I've had lunch at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, by the way.
I have too.
Really
It's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
The gas station's really cool too.
I haven't seen the gas station, but I've been to the house. So
It's on my bucket list to do both.
nice. All right, guys, where can people find you from Bloody Essentials?
So Bloody Essentials is on Facebook and Instagram, as well as YouTube. We are also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Very cool. All right, guys, thank you for coming on. So for Ethan and Nina and Felix, I am Kevin saying, if you don't see us again, thank you for being a friend.
See ya.